Hey guys, this is EJ Holland with the Wolverine.com, and we're back with another episode of Recruit of the Week. Before we highlight this week's prospect, I want to invite you guys to subscribe to the Wolverine.com today. Just $10 until next football season. That gets you insider recruiting information, team information ahead of the college football playoff, basketball recruiting, and you get to be part of a great message board community over on the Fort. Right now, for just $10 until next football season, that's $10 until August of 2023. All right, guys, we're back with another episode of Recruit of the Week. Signing day is just around the corner, which is another reason why you should subscribe to the Wolverine.com. Today, we're taking a look at one of Michigan's top remaining defensive targets in the 2023 recruiting class, and that's Tyler Scott out of Mableton, Georgia, goes to Pebblebrook High. Scott is one of the country's biggest late risers. He was committed to Arkansas State, decommitted in October, and has seen his recruitment absolutely take off. He has big-time offers from across the country, just made an official visit to Alabama. You have other schools like USC, Texas, Auburn all involved as well. And Michigan is becoming and has become a dark horse in this recruitment. Tennessee was once considered the leader here, but like I mentioned, several of those other schools are also in the mix, and he looks like he's more and more open with his recruitment being kind of late because he didn't see a rise in it until 2 months ago. I mean, it's really been only 2 months that he's started to become a national prospect. I think everything is kind of new to Scott. He's still taking in visits. He's still learning more about each program. He's still developing relationships with coaches. Now, a lot of the schools that are on Scott's list, we talk about Alabama, Tennessee, Texas, Auburn. These are Southern schools. Obviously, he's a Southern kid, being from the state of Georgia. Michigan and USC are kind of the outliers, but with Michigan, obviously, they had him on campus already, hosted him for an unofficial visit for the game against Illinois. He told me that the cold didn't bother him too much, so we'll see if that's true. But he did enjoy his time there. He's developing a really good relationship with Michigan co-defensive coordinator and cornerbacks coach Steve Klingscale. Defensive coordinator Jesse Minter has strong ties in the Peach State and will continue to be heavily involved here. Jim Harbaugh and company are invading the state of Georgia this week. They're seeing fellow top DB target Aaron Gates, who's committed to Florida. They're seeing offensive line commit Nathan Afobe. So I'm sure they will stop by to see Scott as well. On the field, he's a really impressive prospect, 6'2", 185 pounds. Michigan likes him as a taller, bigger corner. He can still add some weight to his frame, but he looks pretty good size-wise. On film, he shows great natural instincts, good speed for his size. He's still raw technically, but he makes up for that with his playmaking ability. And he's the type of kid that Klink can turn into a star at the next level. He's that kind of raw athlete with the size, the speed, and the tools to really become a top-level player at a place like Michigan. And I think his playing style is a really good fit for Jesse Minter's scheme and just the Big Ten overall. So he kind of has that look of a Big Ten type corner. I think Scott is one of the more underrated recruits in the country right now. He, of course, just blew up on the recruiting trail, but you'd think the services would have caught up by now. He's a 3-star on On3, a 3-star on 24/7, a 3-star on Rivals, and a 3-star on ESPN. So he is a 3-star prospect across the board. Of course, his offer list does not resemble his ranking, and I would fully expect Scott to see a big bump before this recruiting cycle comes to an end. He is a guy that really flashes a ton on tape, and you can see why all these schools immediately started to offer him in October. But again, I think Michigan is a dark horse in this recruitment. I mean, they will have to overcome the distance battle, the weather battle. But with Michigan having as much success as they are having on the field, I think that's super appealing to prospects around the country, including Scott. I asked him, what stands out about the program, and he told me he's still learning more, but the thing that really caught his attention is just how well Michigan is doing on the field. So I think they can obviously this week, coming off another Big Ten title, continue to pitch development under Klink, and just continue to build relationships with him and the people around him. But as far as kind of what's next for Scott, well, we're only a few weeks away from the early signing period. Scott looking to make his decision around that time. Like I said, Michigan hosted him for an unofficial visit last month. They are trying to get him back for an official visit. He is slated to see USC this weekend. His last visit looks like it'll be Texas, but that's still kind of up in the air. He also might make a midweek to Auburn, could make a midweek to Michigan, or Michigan could potentially replace Texas for that final OV. Scott told me he'll get back to me with his fully firm official visit plan. So again, with his recruitment just being so new, with so many schools getting involved late, it's understandable that he's kind of mapping things out on the fly, but you can bet Michigan is going to do what it can to get Scott back on campus. I thought it was great for this staff just to get him to visit unofficially. That shows that he has legitimate interest in the Wolverines. Getting him back for an official, I think, would make Michigan a true contender and not just a dark horse in this race. So for all your updates on Tyler Scott and other top remaining 2023 recruiting targets this cycle, make sure to subscribe to thewolverine.com right now for just $10 until next football season. Leave this video a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is completely free.